create. Welcome to Black History of Rock and Roll. And I really appreciate you coming out, man. I wanted to get you on the last time, and I know things got
Right.
busy, but I'm so glad that like you came out because seriously, dude, when I first met you, I'm like, this guy, it was cool because we met in front of, how could I forget the homegirl shop's name?
Oh yeah, the Gothic store, right?
Yeah, in Long Beach.
Uh,
Really cool chick, man. Like she's
right.
just, and shouts to like, cause I'm my friend Dave and Jim
Yeah.
Batts, like they're friends with her too. Really cool people, man. And I saw this brother, you know, selling these shirts, and I'm like, first of all, it's cool to see another sort of, black, black punker.
Right.
I'm like, is he goth? Is he punk? He's both. And back in the day, it's like those particular subcultures still kind of ran together, even though it seemed, yeah,
Right.
now I think it's more of a divide,
Right.
but like when I was coming up, it was like nothing to see like punks and goths
Right.
together, because we're a
Right.
part of the same culture in that
Right.
sense.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
out
Right.
here and I see this guy. Let me show you guys. I know I'm not the sexiest model, but I gotta just show like your shirt, and I have the other shirt too. I
Okay.
got two shirts, man.
Yeah, I
And
remember now. I remember.
yeah, man, you know, Black Diamond.
Yeah.
And this is why I wanted you to come on here. Um, this is the only thing that I actually know about
Oh
you,
yeah.
but I really
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I want people to know, for me, tell us about yourself and how you got into the music that you're into. And also, I'm definitely going to get on the concept that you have with this Black Diamond because the things that I've been reading and just your page and just,
Oh
it
yeah.
seems very positive,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man.
So,
Well, I mean, to start off, how I got into the genre of punk or different music was really wrestling. I grew up in the Attitude Era. Wrestling was big when I was coming up. That's what got me into other genres music was wrestling. I think the first time I heard about Motorhead was actually a wrestler named Triple H. He did Lenny and Motorhead did two songs for Triple H, and that's how I heard about Motorhead. But the bands that I was hearing was Disturbed, Nickelback, Limp Bizkit, Evanescence, all just different type of music, man. Metallica, just different bands, and so that's what got me into punk and other genres music was wrestling because that's all they was playing. All I knew was hip hop, rap, jazz music, the normal, right? But being a wrestling fan, man, they just had different rock music, and so I just started listening to that stuff. Like I think the first song I heard was Creed, My Sacrifice. And then from there, I was just hearing different songs that they would play. And I said, man, I like this stuff. So I've always been into, um, um, rock music and everything of that nature. And, man, wrestling kind of just opened the door for that.
so it's amazing that, like, especially
Hmm.
because I didn't even think about it. Wrestling. They do have a lot of
Right,
like different backtracking. Cats will have themes for when they come in and all that.
right,
But it's a trip like from stuff like that's kind of, I guess, semi mainstream to like really underground punk rock stuff. And I love the fact I put that Basuco on there. We actually interviewed Leo,
uh-huh.
but I put that on there because I know, like, I heard it on your page, and I'm like, underground stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
you don't really hear like so much on TV. How did you get into that whole thing too? Because even when I was coming up,
Uh-huh.
I got into punk in the 80s and early 90s, and most of my stuff like was either tape traded, and I was lucky enough to find out about college radio.
Right.
But still, those underground bands, like, how did you like? How was that, and even being a part of a scene in that sense? Or yeah, me and my three-ended questions. Sorry.
I think, man, I just think the mind I think the curiosity because, I always tell people, there's a lot of bands out here. It's like the top of ice cream, right? When you first get that ice cream, you peel the top back, you put that spoon in there, and there's so many bands, man. You start finding out about this band, that band. So it's like when you listen to music like punk or rap, rock, or whatever, you want to, as an individual, you want to expand your mind, and that curiosity starts to turn. Okay, there's got to be more bands. There got to be more something else because it's just not this band, right, that I'm listening to. There's other bands, and so I think just me having the curiosity, wanting to learn more, know about, hey, is it more black people that are in this genre? Is it more, And so I had a lot of questions, and so I had to do my own homework and dig more. So, like I said, to get to the underground part was more as first, okay, curiosity, and then saying, okay, let me do my homework and let me see what bands, because it's just so many bands, man, and there's so many talented bands out there, underground, mainstream, whatever. But just through it all, I was able to see, like, okay, there's more music, there's more bands than this. It's just not. I'm just like I tell people, when we start doing the history of music, history of bands, we're just scratching the surface. There's bands that have made it, and there's bands that's only been here a short time, and some bands haven't made it. Like Operation Ivory, right? That's a band that didn't last long, but you know of them, right? So there's things like that that you end up finding out as you do your more homework, as you get into more music, and as you go down that path.
Do you feel like I'm also in the hip hop and a lot of avant-garde jazz and progressive rock stuff too? But one thing that I always kind of highlight sometimes, um, I feel like there's a lot of commonality between hip hop and punk. Of course, you have your mainstreams, but then you have your underground, especially out here in LA. I mean, we had people like Project Blowed and movements like, I'm sorry, movements like Project Blowed and with people like Freestyle Fellowship and all that. But at the same time, we had like, Ice Cube and Snoop. I'm from Long Beach. And a lot of different, and Jurassic 5 was also part of that underground. But it's a trip how like there's a lot of parallels, man, like in both scenes in that sense, even though they're, I guess, different music, but there's the same attitude. What do you think about that?
I think, man, hip hop. Like I said, I'm always gonna be into hip hop, rap, obviously. I think hip hop and rap and in the punk scene, I think it's an outlet to express yourself. I think both of them have a like outer appearance to express yourself and who you are. Um, and I just think, like I said, I think hip hop is what we know. Me and you know hip hop. We know artists. We can name 20 to 25 artists off the back of our minds right now, right? But I think, like I said, I think the evolution of music, and I think even though it's different genres, I do believe that every music has the same message. Like let's say NWA, right? NWA was powerful. They was impactful. The Dead Kennedys,
Yep.
impactful, powerful. So there's always, even though the genre is different, some of these songs and some of the genres have the same message that they're trying to give out, and that's whether it's trying to be in a revolution, start a movement, or speak on a political matter, or click on something that's globally happened. It's the same. It's different genres, but it's really the same message once you look at it, because everybody's trying. A message is, like I said, music is for the people that's trying to get something sent out. Music is a big influence on our culture and everywhere we go. Music is an universal language, like they say, it's universal language. So it all comes out the same way. It's just different. It's just how the artist presents it.
It's a trip that you mentioned, especially like NWA and Dead Kennedys, because back in the early '90s, especially like a lot of what people will call conscious rap, even on what people would consider gangster
Right,
street rap, there's a lot of that consciousness. I was listening to bands like the Dead Kennedys and
right,
Bad Brains, along with Ice Cube, Public Enemy, and
right.
NWA back then, and it was the same message. This is around the time when the
You're right,
riots were going down too,
right,
so that
right,
all resonated with me.
right,
Like they were saying, basically, wake up,
right,
dude. This,
right.
I mean, we have some things to do. Things need
Exactly.
to change. And I still feel the same. Dead Kennedys is still one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
Bad Brain. Groups like No Comment and a lot of those underground punk bands that were saying a lot even back then. People talked about Green Day. That was a little bit later.
Hmm.
But the thing is, I was into stuff that was still like what people would consider Rage Against the Machine, and they were born out of that. They were
right,
born out of the merger between both of those.
right,
You
right,
know?
right. And I mean, and I guess at the end of the day, I mean, man, music is influence on us heavy, you know. And so, like I said, you just said it, you hit it on the money. It has the same, it's the same message, you know. It's the same thing. People voice being heard. Like I said, anyone that has a microphone and is in a band, man, you have the power, right? You have the power with that microphone in the building, in the room. You have you have the obligation or the responsibility to impact lives in whatever way it may be. NWA had a different style. Dead Kennedys had a different style, but it still was the same
And
message.
it's the same message as cats like Gil Scott Heron,
Mm-hmm.
um, fucking, Isaac Hayes. How could I forget that brother's name that did "I'm Your Pusher"? Shame on me because me and my dad would always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I forgot his name. That's bad. I'm getting old.
You know, you
But
got
with that, I have to ask.
yeah,
Have to ask like,
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry,
No, it's like that when you know some people know a lot of music, you just don't always remember the artist. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. You know.
man. I grew up off of Curtis Mayfield.
Okay. Okay.
But so with that, I have to ask, like, where are you from originally? Are you from Los
Well,
Angeles, like Orange County?
I was born in Inglewood, California, Centinela Hospitals. That's still there. I went to Hyde Park Elementary School. I went to Audubon, and then I went to Crenshaw High School my freshman year, but then I transferred over to Compton Centennial. Um, and like I said, Crenshaw, I grew up in that area. I grew up in 630 Bronx. I grew up around the era of Nipsey Hussle before Nipsey Hussle became a big rapper and who he
Rest
was.
in peace.
He was the gangster before he became this rapper. So I was around there like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I grew up on 630 Bryanhurst in South Central, the heart of the 6-0 Crip gang. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. I've seen that place in its better days, and now when I drove in there recently, it's a lot different, right? So my neighborhood has changed, and everything else is different now where I grew up at. But I'm from definitely from LA, man, Inglewood, California, born and raised, man.
You ever kick it at Lamert Park? That's what I hang out over there a
Oh,
lot since I
yeah,
was a kid.
yeah, I've been there a few times, man. Yeah, yeah. Lamert Park is still going, huh?
Yep,
Okay, that's good.
we still trying to keep it rolling because, oh
They
man,
still got black businesses over there, right? They still got the black businesses over
yeah,
there.
yeah, they got them, but it's been a constant struggle from all my
Right,
friends that I live in Long Beach. I was born and raised up, but I've always been between L.A.,
right,
Venice Beach. Like I'm always hanging out
right.
everywhere. But I have friends that have businesses over there.
Okay.
And some of them will say it's been a struggle, and
Well,
they've
I
been
bet
trying
it
to like
is. I
you
bet
know,
it is, man. I bet it is. It's because it's changing over there, right? You know, you got the trains, you got all the construction work. You know, yeah, it's changing, man. It's changing over there.
yeah. But I feel like cats that have been like, for example, it's right near where Nipsey's store was.
Mm-hmm.
We had Mr. Wisdom, the guy that had that vegetarian spot. He's
Mm-hmm.
like a yogi. He's
Right.
a British Jamaican dude, and he had to close because like just all the stuff that was going on over there, and it was messing with his traffic. I've heard other stories too from some of my friends that have businesses over
Yeah,
there.
having a business right now is tough, man. People are being challenged, you know. I mean, people are not spending as much as they were back then. I mean, it's being a business owner, you got to be built for it, man. You got to be all in, man, because it's gonna hit. You're gonna hit some bumps. You're gonna hit some obstacles, some hurdles. Being a business, especially a black business owner, small business owners, they are feeling the effect right now. So, you know,
Man, and speaking of that, you're pretty much business savvy with not just your t-shirt, but what's your whole concept behind this? Because I'm looking at your page and there's so much positive stuff,
right.
and I see the business model, but it's a whole it's something. It's like a real positive thing that I can't describe it, and it's just I'll let you describe it.
I mean, man, when I think when people look at my page, they see somebody that's unapologetic. They see somebody that's uncommon. They see somebody that they don't see people like me every day, right? I think like you said, my page is all about positivity. but obviously you can see there's also a fashion thing too. I am a guy. I'm like I said, when I call myself uncommon, I'm uncommon for a reason. I don't even I don't even consider myself a punk. I'm more alternative slash uncommon. You know what I'm saying? Because, this thing where I don't want to be labeled or put in a box, right? I want to be able to be me and have a different expression. And I think my expression is like, like I said, man, being uncommon is like being innovative. And so I feel like men should be able to wear what they want to wear and wear it in a way where it can be stylish, it can be fun. Because like I said, I grew up in a time where, hey, my mom was strict. I didn't have a father. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my own money. I had to buy whatever she can afford. So now, fast forward, now I get to able to live and got my own money, can buy what I want to buy. Can't nobody tell me nothing. So I want my page to be, like I said, I dress to break barriers. I dress to put an impact on somebody else's like that, want to wear that stuff and be like, you know what? If he can do it, I got the courage to do it too. So I like I said, my clothing is a message. It's a statement to everybody that sees me. You know.
So, what made you call it Black Diamond? I mean, you could have chose any other name. What is that referring to? I think I know, but I don't want to assume. And plus, just for the audience too.
Well, when I came up with Black Diamond, to be truthfully told, that word Black Diamond, I was like, said when Black Diamond came, when I did all of that, I was down with COVID, and I was in COVID for about a week. I'm sitting there brainstorming because I've always liked fashion. One of my biggest influence in the fashion and inspiring me to be into fashion was the UK punk scene, Vivienne Westwood, the Sex Pistols, Mick Lauren, all those the characters and the people in the UK punk scene really inspired me, and so Black Diamond really was supposed to be an underwear business.
Mm.
People don't know that because Black Diamond was supposed to be men could be able to wear sexy things like lace and fishnets and mesh. So Black Diamond didn't start off as no gothic punk thing. It actually started as an underwear business. But the problem with the underwear is that it takes longer and it costs more money because you're trying to get the right fit, you're trying to get the right material so men can enjoy it. Because women got a lot of nice things, right? Men
Yeah.
don't have creativity when it comes to clothes or even underwear. So like I said, I think, you know, Black Diamond started off as underwear, but then as I started kind of talking to people, the underground is it's like it's not easy as is to make a t-shirt, right? I can easily make a t-shirt, have someone screen print it, call it a day. But underwear, because it's a fabric, you're trying to make it comfortable. There's certain logistics that come with it. So it started off as an underwear business. So that's where Black Diamond came from because I wanted it to be like a kind of like to be sexy, but also has that man be able to show that masculinity and wear something sexy like a fishnet underwear or a thong or whatever, something where a man can be him and be comfortable. Like, okay, I can wear this. So that's where it really Black Diamond came from. It came from being an underwear business just strictly, and then I finally said, you know what? Let me switch gears. Let me kind of turn the wheel and let's do something else. And so that's where it came from. Black Diamond really started off as an underwear thing, and then as time went on, I was just like, you know what? Let me start making shirts. Let me do something more easier for me because I am the only guy pushing everything and doing everything. So.
DIY all the way,
Mm, mm,
man.
mm.
What got you into the whole business aspect of it, and how young were you when you first started? Like just having your own business, or just the concept of that, you know?
I, I think the concept of the business, the wanting to have my own is wanting to leave something behind. I've always been into fashion since I was young, right? So I
Yeah.
think the concept of me creating that, I wanted to get into fashion because not only it wasn't really about money, it was secondly like looking at something like when I see people wear Black Diamond shirts or I saw someone wear it at a show, that makes me feel good to see that. And they don't know that the person that made that shirt is standing in the same proximity or we in the same area. So when I created Black Diamond, it was to create something, that I can leave behind once I'm gone. Black Diamond will always be there. It's something that's gonna be there long after I'm gone. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Mm.
I like what you said on one thing that I was looking at on your page, and you just echoed it. Um, leaving something, leaving a legacy that, like just even your family could still live off of, and just leaving something that will be um, your marker, or something that keeps generating for the next generation when you're gone. That's an interesting concept because, especially, I'll be honest, there's people that have more of a nihilistic thing, and I get it. The cats want to live for today and that's it.
Mm.
I've never had that. And a lot of it for me is spiritual. And I'm not downing people that do. I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself. But I thought it was really cool and it resonated with me. It's like there's things that you want to do and you're conscious of that you want to leave something for the next generation. And I like the fact that you didn't shy away from even wealth
Mm.
in that regard, because that's one thing and we know why.
And,
When it
and
comes to
and the way things are going now, jobs they pay you to pay your bills and take care of your responsibility. Jobs are not what they used to be. So I think everybody in this country, in California, you got to have a little side hustle too. Yeah, I wanted to leave something behind, but I also know that you want to be able to have a side hustle. You want to be able to have something. So this also gives me an opportunity to network with people, right? So I started Black Diamond in 2022.
mm,
That was that August of 2022. I caught COVID, and so that whole entire week I was just sitting there brainstorming. So that August of 2022, I caught COVID. I was just sitting there brainstorming, man. I said, okay, I like fashion. I have a job, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's something that I want to do something beyond my job. There's something I want to be able to be proud of. And so that's how Black Diamond really started. I caught COVID down for a week, started brainstorming. That's all you can do is really sit around anyway. So it just came to my mind like a light bulb, like ding, like let's do it.
I think you're the second person, maybe second or third person to tell me. And I'm looking at you, my friend Shalana from Punkdemic. I think she told me that she got her idea during COVID too. I don't know if you don't know her, you got to meet her. Also, you got to meet Nicole Colley. She does her fashion line as well. And there's a few other cats. I mean, like that are just doing their thing, and it's amazing. Especially like, man, like the fact that you all like are just so creative and just expressing music in another way. I don't even know if you're in a band. You look like you could
Everybody,
be in a band.
I get that so much. Everybody, man, dude, I'm like, nah, man, I'm just like a model, fashion guy. Like, I'm just who I am. I'm just like I tell people, I'll just be me. I don't know, man. I've never tried to do anything with a mic or anything. Like, I can talk, but I don't know I don't know what my genre would be. I don't know what I'd be comfortable in doing.
All creation,
Yeah,
man. I mean, that's the thing. And that's the cool thing, that you don't even limit yourself to genre, like you just do your thing.
right.
Um, man. So, and that's cool though, like that you have that who are your business inspirations, if you don't mind me asking?
My business inspiration was a friend of mine named Anthony, who's is in New Orleans. He does church media. He does photography. He does weddings. He even got his own He got his own food business. And I seen him do entrepreneurship and see how he was doing. I said, man, that been inspired me for the last couple of years. I was watching him, and he inspired me to do it, man. He was one of my inspirations because seeing him, do his thing, I was like, you know what? I want to give this thing a shot. So that was my biggest inspiration as far as going into a business was my friend Anthony.
That's awesome. Now, is Black Diamond the only line of clothing thing that you
Yeah,
have?
for now,
And also, like, is that just everything's under that?
everything is under that. And like the crazy part, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. My page right now, when I just was having clothes and just selling, I wasn't getting a lot of followers because people didn't. It seemed like I'm gonna tell you, I think the key to a successful clothing business, it's all about your following. It's all about your networking. It's all about your promoting. But a lot of people didn't really start following until they start recognizing that who I was, because a lot of people didn't know at first. They just saw T-shirts, this and that. So I had to kind of reveal myself, and then once I started getting my followers up, then that's when people start asking me about shirts. And then plus vending. Vending is very important too, because you get to meet people, you get to bring it to the people. Online is a big presence. I don't have it online right now. Things have been kind of. I've been doing some other things. I haven't been able to really get into my clothing groove or my business groove since last year. But I want to get back to that eventually, man.
Well, that's where I met you, man, vending, and it was cool because, I go to that spot whenever I can, and it was one of those events that happen in Long Beach. I rarely get down there, so that was cool that I was there that night. And then you met the homeboy Sam Sticks. He was like, me and him we're part of the same collective, Sound Army Music Society, and we're also like, I mean, we're in a punk rock band together, but um, so it was just cool, like just to talk and all that, and then all the cats that we all know, and then just you having the shirts, man, and the deal too that you had at the time, it was really cool,
Yeah,
and I made
man,
sure.
that was the beginning right there, man. I was on the road, man. I was bending. I was on a little. You got sometimes when you start your business off, you go on this little hot run, a hot streak, and I was on a hot streak when you met me. I was just okay. Next vending, boom. Next vending show, okay. I was just hitting vending events. I was on the road, man, and then obviously the inflation, things got expensive, so I had to work two jobs. It just like things. I
I
kind of
know how
got off,
it is. That's what I'm doing now, looking for a third one. You know,
man.
I know how it is, but you know what, dude? Like the things that you're saying, like you're still at it. I'm glad that you've not
Oh,
given up, and the fact that you are conscious about anything that you do, you're gonna leave something. So you might as well leave like a legacy that's gonna be fruitful for the next generation,
right, right.
whether it be financially, mentally, or spiritual.
Mm,
And that's really cool.
right.
Like um, man, there's something else I was gonna ask you, and I know like what's the next idea that you have, if you don't mind? And are there any other businesses that you have any ideas or involved in?
Uh, I've had ideas to do like a clothing line slash music video shoot. I've had ideas. I got some long sleeves, some black diamond long sleeves that I need to go pick up. From a guy named Andy who did the screen print and stuff like that. So there are some things that are coming together, but like I said, it's slowly coming together. And as I try to make time for those things, it's juggling two jobs, juggling family. Life happens. So you're juggling as much as you can. But it's okay to take a break. As a business owner,
Yeah,
it's it's okay to the word I'm looking for, to decompress. It's okay to just take a day off or a week off and decompress, because the business owner, they deal with a lot of stress, a lot of worries. Is it going to succeed? Is it not going to succeed? And man, 2020 and the year after, it took a lot of businesses down that didn't have a leg to stand on. So, you know, um, it's a risk take. I couldn't imagine owning a store like, Dead Rockers out there in Long Beach. You know,
yeah,
store
great
that
store.
the store that we met at. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of sacrifices. Putting out maybe a business loan. There are sacrifices, and I think a lot of people see this thing. People see business owners, entrepreneurs successful, but they don't understand the grind that they went to. They don't understand how they missed out on money. They don't understand how sometimes they made sacrifices. They chose to do this over this, which this was important. So being a business owner is risky. Being a business owner, you got to be built for it, and you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, and you're gonna have some fears. You're gonna have some roadblocks, man, for real. You know?
That's a trip. It's funny you mentioned those two stores because I discovered them. I was just like, wow, because in Long Beach, where I'm from, like I remember stores like Gamma Gamma. This is back in like late '80s, early '90s, and off of like Broadway. And then I think maybe 10 Ton Records was kind of like that, but not really. There wasn't a lot, so it was really cool when I'm like, wait, you guys are, because I remember Dead Rockers was on 4th Street, and then they moved up. It's a lot bigger now. And then I found the Gothic spot. How could I forget the name of that
It
spot?
was the
I feel bad
Eclipse,
for the,
right? The Eclipse, right? Something
yeah,
like that.
Eclipse. Yeah, yeah. And I
Nice.
found them at the same time, so I'm like, that's awesome because we haven't had any like stores like that in decades, man. Like since Gamma Gamma, from what I remember. And yeah, you're right. Especially opening around the time that they opened post COVID, or like that you often wonder like how like I mean for me it's just
Yeah.
like that's a brave move, but you know what, I'm glad it's there, I'm
Yeah,
glad that
I like having stores like that. Like we have a store over in Hawthorne called Under the Radar Records. They just started. I think they've been there about 3 years, but they another store. It's not a lot of stores like that around. So
wow. Yeah, man, shoot. What was I gonna ask? Dang, man, how could I forget my question? As far as like business advice, do you feel like you want to give that, or some people are kind of hesitant, but what would you say even as a young businessman right now, especially dealing with like being in, I mean, it's not common, like I like the uncommon culture thing, that there's people that just start off in business with like all these underground scenes like that, especially like punk scene, like at least I mean it's not like what made you even think of that, like of course you kind of actually answered it, but
I,
yeah, I just thought, what advice would you give?
what advice would I would give? I would say when you are a business owner, you're selling clothes or selling anything. I think the my best advice is to be patient. Um, Understand your market and who you're targeting, the audience that you're targeting, right? Because I'm not going to be able to go into, let's say, a boutique shop where they selling women dresses, women clothing, and put Black Diamond shirts in. There ain't nobody going to buy that. So I have to
Yeah,
go. I have to go where the money's at. Like there's like I've been to punk shows. I've been to shows where I had to vend or certain music venues like Club Fallout. Like vending is hard, especially in the summertime, or especially if you got like your last $100, man. You know, there are sometimes you're gonna have to like, you know, understand at what you're getting into, because you're gonna have some bad days in vending. I remember I vended, only made $25. Then one vending, I made $175. Like, you're not gonna have a consistently. You're gonna have some days. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have some bad days. But my best advice: find your crowd, find the demographic audience that you're targeting, and once you find that, then you know where to go. Also, look at the market. Shirts. Some shirts go for $30. You may want to bring it down to 25. You may want to bring it down to 23. You may want to do 2 for 20. However, but my best advice is to know what you want, execute the vision, and then know your audience, know who your target crowd is.
that's awesome. Now, do you draw like or do you hire other artists for like a lot of the t-shirts that you do?
That logo that you got, that logo was expensive. A guy named Mass Turd did it. He's a
That's his name.
Mass Turd. Now, the crazy part about Mass Turd, when I asked him to do it, I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know because he had no pictures of himself, right? So one day I'm over at desk control and I'm looking at this because every artist has their different style of art, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting looking, he over at Venda. I didn't know Master. I didn't know what he looked like. Mind you, I didn't know what he looked like. Never seen like all I know he did my logo. So I'm sitting there and I see these familiar pictures. I'm like, man, that looks familiar. And I looked up to him. I said, wait a minute, are you Master? He said, yeah. Guy that did my logo. I never met him. didn't know what he looked like, and then I finally went to like a swap meet, a punk swap meet, and he was there selling all the stuff, and I'm like, man, his art is like you know somebody's handwriting. So I said that art looks really familiar, and then I like, yeah, he's like, we started talking, and we took a picture together. It was cool, man. Yeah, it was cool. It was,
How did you even meet that cat? That's a trip, man.
you
Like,
know, the crazy thing, I'm gonna tell you, dude. Like the first logo that I had, I didn't like it. It was like a guy with a mohawk sticking his tongue out with glasses. It had the black diamond at the bottom, and then it had the logo. I didn't like it. I said I know I needed to go above and beyond. Like if I want something to stick out and be like pop, that logo helped me because the other shirts wasn't it. It was kind of like it was a good start, but in order to really somebody see that logo and be like, oh, that's tight. I want people to say that, and so I said I got to get somebody that can do because punk art is very different than like somebody else art. Everybody got different styles, different gifts. But I knew I needed something very grunge, very punk artwork look like, something that when people see that shirt, it's like, okay, that pops. I can see it. I like the shirt. I want feedback. Obviously, you want feedback on your shirts and stuff like that. But I knew I needed that logo because that logo was going to help change it and push me forward. Because, being in the scene, you don't want nothing too cheesy, anything too corny. So I said that was perfect for me.
was the idea like what like did you give him the idea to draw
Yeah,
this or I'm curious.
I gave him how I wanted it, and then what he did is he drew a rough draft, like a sample of what this is gonna look like. So he gave me the sample. He said, "Okay, got the cross. You got people around the cemetery. Okay, boom." Sent me, DM me the layout of what it's gonna look like, and then the next following week he showed me the full complete process of the logo.
I dig it because it's like for a while in the 90s what pissed me off is like you had people drawing little things right here and in the back they would have something. I hate that. Like I like the fact that you have a whole canvas on it, like it's like the old punk rock t-shirts,
Right.
or like even the old heavy metal t-shirts. Like I like art on the front so people could see.
Yeah.
What attracted me to like different bands is like the fact that I would see cats wearing them in different magazines. I'm like, well, what's that? And it made me find out about that band,
Right.
like, and that's what I think that's cool about that.
Yeah, I like. You're not the only guy that said that. The other person said that it has a very old school logo feel to it. Somebody else told me that when I was vending, it got like an old school logo feel to it. So I was like, thanks, man. That's what I wanted, anyways.
What's the concept of this art? Is it just random or is there some kind of message that you wanted to convey? It's interesting the cross is standing up and everyone's kind of
It,
doing their thing, and
it's
I'm curious.
crazy part. That's really a graveyard. It's a
Oh
graveyard.
yeah. No, I got that. I got that.
I think the cross is basically a sign of redemption. Sign of redemption for humanity. It's believed in a higher power. But the diamond, then you see the diamond in the back, obviously. The concept of the art, I wanted it to be different. Two, I've always been into that type of style of art, the punk art. So I liked it both, but also I wanted to, like I said, clothing, anything on a t-shirt, anything on a sweater is a statement. So that's why I created that. I wanted that logo because I wanted to show that, you can see, okay, this is a cross right here. These are punks hanging around, but it's also a symbolizer of life and death,
Mm.
right? The cross is life, the cemetery is death. Life and death is always we're in the middle of it, and that shirt tells you, hey, that shirt means life and death. You're either living or you're dead, but ultimately that's the message. And also because I like the look, I wanted something to pop, and that logo popped when I saw it.
Oh, totally. And then all the characters from the drunk punk to like the Mohican dude and
Yeah,
to the dude with the dreaded mohawk and the boom box to the chick that
crazy part,
and
some of those shirts had the middle
yeah,
finger. I told
yeah,
man,
I see I got that one.
I told man, told Mass Turd, man, some of them people don't want no shirt because they saw like one guy. I gave the shirt to a rapper. You know, I gave him a free shirt because he was cool. We was talking, and he saw the middle finger. He didn't even want the shirt, man. I said, "What?"
Uh,
And then eventually, someone gave it back to me that he knew. You know, I said, "Hey, if it ain't your style, it ain't your style. No worries, don't biggie. Just give it to me. You know, give it back." So he gave it back to me. But yeah, I mean, when people see the middle finger, they be like, "What? I didn't see that." So
I
you
saw
know,
it. And the bat that bat looks like he has the same on his wings has the same thing as the chick that's wearing the cheetah thing.
right,
The bat
man.
dealing with that. That's heavy,
Yeah,
man.
Master Turd did a job on that, man. He did a great job.
Man, any other designs that you have, and where could we? That's another thing. I know it's getting late, so
Oh, keep on.
what?
We got time. We got a little bit more time here.
Okay, I'm like, man, I don't want to be keeping you away from, you know, what other designs? Because that's the only one that I've seen. But also, I'm curious. Like, I probably asked this before. Like, what? Any other designs coming forward,
Yeah, I
or would you?
got three logos. I got one logo that should say Black Diamond, and then I got that logo, and then I got the logo with the choker, and then got the cross hanging. Um, I pretty much, I mean, like I said, the cross is redemption, right? It's hope, it's life and death. You get what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
Um,
I'm wearing one right here. My Ethiopian cross.
that's a good cross.
Rest in
So
Testament of the
I
woman's that's good.
see on my page, you'll see that other logo. Like a lot of sometimes I don't want to just have one logo, so that's why I created another logo. Then I created that one. Then I created a last one. The guy that did the choker with the cross, he's in the scene. He does a lot of flyers, and so I reached out to him and he did it, and it looked phenomenal. I just wanted something. I might end up probably getting it painted on there, maybe like getting Black Diamond painted on the vest or something or a jacket at some point, so I can have my logo, you know. And like I said, I like my logos, you know what I'm saying. I keep three, and I can use them for different things. I may not want to use that logo. I can use this logo.
So with that, I have to ask, and it's kind of a retract of the same question, but in a different way. What's the significance to not only a diamond but also the black diamond? I think I know, but I'm gonna let you say it instead of just me rattling off what I think it is. It's
I
an interesting thing that you
I
chose
think
a diamond out of.
you got the answer probably already. I think you got the answer already because I don't know, man. I was just like Black Diamond just sound nice, man. That's what it just did. You know, it just did it, and I just stuck with it. I didn't change it. I was just like, you know what? Black Diamond it is.
What I was thinking,
It just
it's like
popped,
you're a
right?
what you're doing is like a diamond in the rough, and it
Right.
takes a lot of friction to make a diamond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and being a black diamond, you could only imagine. It's so unique. It's dark, but it still glistens.
And
That's a tricky.
that's the thing too. I think when I dress, people notice that I don't I don't have no darkness. You know, because when I grew up, I hung around people that was at the heavy metal. That was my first crew that I hung out with in high school. But they always had a darkness. And I believe you can be whatever you want to be, alternative punk, whatever. But you want to have some color. You want to have life to you. And I've seen people dress like it, didn't have no life, right? It just looks really like they're oppressed. You know, they shackled down in chains. It's okay to wear spikes, but it's also, you know, you want to make it look presentable, but you also want to be able to say, you know what, even though I dress like this, I'm not a dark person. I'm not suicidal. I'm not crazy, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of people get that twisted. They think people that dress all type of ways or whatever, they it's like a judgment. They, you know, like assuming that, oh, this person is the devil worshiper, blah, blah, blah. No. There's another layer.
I totally relate to that, especially because of my own spiritual beliefs. Even when I was a kid,
Right.
people thought like, that I was into all that, and I'm like, dude, I'm carrying a Bible brand, like, and I'm, of course, this is not to look down on anybody, but like I got it from both sides, like I got it from cats that whether it was kids or even people at church thinking that I was like into some evil stuff. Thank God I actually had a pastor actually defended me, but not a lot of people have that. And then this is an outlet for like a lot of
Hmm.
kids that might not have that positive thing to kind of help them with that. I've seen that happen with a lot of the underground stuff, but I understand not everybody's on some nihilistic
Right.
like evil
Right.
stuff. Like I mean, a majority of us are not. Like
Right. So it's a judgment. You get judged for it. Like, oh, he's this, and then people that don't know it, like it's some people it's unacceptable, you know. But overall, I mean, once they get to know the person, it's like, okay, this person's cool. She's cool, you know. That's all it takes, man. But it's not fair to the individual,
no,
you know.
I know firsthand it's not fair. I've had when I was a kid, it reminded me. I had like one of the parents wanted to keep their kids away from me, and the kid told me, I'm a kid at the time too.
Right,
My mom thinks you're a bad influence because of the way that I dress. I had my hair all spiked out and stuff. My fro, I braided it and spiked it out, and I had
right,
makeup on, and you know, just all people thought I was crazy. But yeah, I'm like stuff like that is just not cool, man.
right.
And you know,
Give people a chance. Give people a chance to show who they are. You know.
yep,
So,
man. So what's the latest thing coming up, man?
and well, the latest thing right now, man, is just staying above water right now. Like I said, I'm just going to continue to make shirts. I'm continuing to keep driving that because that's something I like to do. I want to get back into the flow of things, but financially, being the only guy, being the only person, it's tough, man. So I do want to, I want to do things in the scene, but I know that because of my skin color, it's going to be some oppositions. It's going to not be easy to get the networks to connect with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely some shirts coming. There's still some more things on the way. It's just, I got to get back on the ball. I got to get back things rolling again.
Have you ever had any of that opposition when it comes to that? And I'm just
Oh
curious.
well, I mean, I've been in some stuff recently. Last week, I got into some stuff. Um, I got punched out of the show by a racist skinhead chick. Um, it's still hard for us black people, like it back. It's always been hard for us. The LA punk scene or any scene has never been nice to us guys in our skin color. So I'm in a situation where I have to kind of handle things differently than I normally do. I'm not a violent person. I don't want to fight, but
Ah, man.
what happened was I was hit in the face, busted lip. She attacked me, came charging at me, and I had to handle it. I had to protect myself. So, for right now, you talk about what's my next move. I really want to take Black Diamond and put it in a different space than just LA punk or punks because you have to be able to spread your wings and say, okay, I got to move on to something else because this situation is teaching me that it's time for me to adapt. This situation is teaching me it's time for me to go somewhere. It's time for me to go a little bit higher than I was, you know. So yeah,
I'm so sorry about that. That's
I,
nobody should be going through that. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, dude, that's
being a black guy and being rare, and I felt like I was target. I feel like it was a straight up target. I feel like there are groups and individuals in these scenes that are starting mess, trying to gatekeep punk police folks. They trying to come because the way the climate is of this country right now, racist, divided. We got a president it just gives them the green light. And so one thing I don't do discrimination. I don't like bullying. I think the punk scene everybody should be able to come to the show and have fun, not
yeah.
have drama. But parts of it that's toxic. And it's always been bad for us because it's not a lot of us. And so I think that's another thing. I think for black punks and our turning people, we need to have a space in LA where we can have our own people. You know, we need to do because, like I said, I've been to different arenas, different spaces, different things, you know, and that we want to be able to have something for ourselves because right now, you know, the LA punk scene, it's always drama, you know, and us black people, we're just not welcome to every space, and that's just what it is. And so they can have it. They don't want diversity. They don't want people being different. They don't want people being them and being unapologetic. You know, I'm not going to dress like no bum. I'm not going to look the way you want me. Like, I'm not going to downsize myself or water myself down for you. I'm going to continue to be me, and that's what got to me this far is being me.
Hey, man, just to let you know, this is one of the reasons that I do this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on, I've been listening to rock and roll all my life, but I'll tell you
Right.
this, as far as like this platform, I want to give people like you
Mm-hmm.
and other brothers and sisters that are part of this, recognition, just to kind of create, it's not necessarily a scene, but more kind of like family in that sense, or just so a place where there is a space.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
people like want to try to basically try to gatekeep, but they don't even realize where the root of what they believe in or where they're coming from is from. For us, I think we're at a crucial point where it's like, okay, we do have a
Right.
culture. Everyone always talks about black culture and the negative, but they don't mention all the things that we've done that they still, are participating in.
Right. Right. Right.
We're part of that as well. And the thing is, there's no way that you should even go through that. So I understand, like, and hopefully this would be, even though it's online, and then we have friends that are doing stuff in publications and different things. That's one of the reasons you had, the old Afro punk and now punk black. I think Kelvin Chaos is doing some stuff too, and like a lot of other cats, because people were tired of that, and and
Yeah.
and, and it's
Like
a shame.
come back. It's like it's trying to come back again. So
The thing
we see.
is, though, Eugene, it's been
Yeah.
here. It never left.
Facts.
You
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
It never left. The president doesn't matter. It's still been here.
Right.
And we've been fighting. We come from a resilient people that have been fighting this stuff for the last 500 years.
Right. 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 All right, man. Mm-hmm. You're
But the
right.
thing is, dude, what you're doing is great. And Black Diamond is what it is. It's something that will shine out no matter where it is. I don't care if it's punk. I don't care if it's freaking classical music. That's a very great game.
Right. I
So
hear you, man.
I hope that's some kind of encouragement. And I'm sorry that I'm so sorry
So,
about that.
so right, yeah. So right now, it's a situation where I have to step back and use wisdom and
Yeah.
not go. It's like this. If I go to an LA show, I gotta have a group with me. I gotta have a posse with me. I can't just go by myself because I know what skinheads are. Skinheads like to fight, and like I said, the generations that are coming in, like I've been talking to people, you know, about the LA punk thing. They said it's not what it used to be. You know, I talked to a lot of them. It's you got this generation that's coming in, Generation Z, Generation Alpha. They angry, they frustrated, they're queers, they gender fluid, all type of things. They're just different. So, you know, right now, my safety matters, and I have to be able to move around this situation because, like I said, the end game of it is that somebody gets hurt, and I don't want to go that far. I wanted to.
You cover yourself to what you need to do. What's up? I see you, Celine, Glycerin Queen. She's a part of the group that comes over to where I am, Sound Army.
Okay.
What's up, homie? She's an awesome vocalist. But no, seriously, dude, stand back. Cause
Yeah.
and it's weird that you're saying that in LA.
Oh,
Dude, there was a time in LA that stuff was not allowed, but maybe. Oh wow, dude, that's just crazy that stuff. I mean, cats. You would think that they would have chased that stuff out, but yeah, man,
nobody,
that's not cool.
nobody's checking that individual. Nobody's checking her. Like, you know, nobody's like saying, "Hey, you can't just be hitting on guys, starting mess." You know, like I said, I'm 10 years older than these people.
Yeah, that's not cool at all. And
Not
especially
cool.
you being a man, and the fact that like she would, yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, it's better that you stand back. But notice this, bro.
Hmm.
The Most High will give you guidance in what you need to do. I think the concept of what you're doing, you know, will stand out no matter
Right,
what. You know,
right,
and you know, like just keep at it. It'll come to you
right,
what you need to do.
right,
And
right.
I'm sorry that you've gone through that. No one should be going through that crap.
Hey, you right. But we here, man.
Yep. Hey, Nelly Fuller said it's in all areas of activity.
Right, right,
You
right.
know?
But see, thankfully, the skinhead thing ain't big like it used to be. Like you still got little bits of groups, but it's not as more as threatening. You know, they're not at every show or whatever, but you know, they may pop up 3, 4 guys, right? So
It's a trip though because LA is known for not having, you know, LA's known for not having Nazi skinheads. Like I know because I knew skinheads that were in Long Beach and Carson. And some of the LA skinheads that I met were not on that. So I don't know what. I haven't been to shows in a while. That's crazy that they're letting all this madness in now, huh?
and it's the
I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Wow.
Like I went out to an event Sunday called My Slutty Valentine's. Really good event at the Echoplex. It was a different crowds, and I started to notice that certain bands bring certain crowds. I noticed that. You know, if you bring like, let's say you get Fusion Babies, right?
Yeah,
Let's throw them out there. Fusion.
I know though. I know those guys. Actually, the girl in Summer or Skittles, we used to call her. Her and Brain are part of my collective. I've known her since she was a little one. So she's like, you know, she's like, you know, I've known her for a long time. Like they're kids that I've grew up like, you know, that came to my program. So that's amazing that you mentioned her band.
Yeah,
But what were you saying?
Fusion Babies. I mean, they they got a heck of a following, right? Their following is teenagers on up, so they're gonna be here a long time, you know. So Fusion Babies. Now, yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. Fusion Babies gonna do their thing, you know. So
Yeah, man. That's I'm glad that you mentioned. That's crazy. Like I'm so proud of her because I remember her being like around like just a little kid coming through and jamming out and it was cool. I was one I don't know if I was her first drum teacher, but I taught her drums and like yeah, man, it's a trip. She's doing amazing. I still haven't seen them
oh
yet. And everyone keeps telling me that I got to check them out. I got to get out to one of their shows.
yeah, like
You know,
Fusion Babies, they bring their own crowd, man. They bring the clowns, they bring the freaks. They bring people that are open minded.
awesome.
That's what I'm saying. It's certain bands that bring certain elements, and certain shows I won't be going to. You
I
know,
hear you.
yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
yeah.
Well, just know that this
Thank
platform,
you, man.
that's why I want to promote what you do. I feel that you're a part of this, you know, this, I guess, I don't even want to call what I do a movement, but there's a bunch of
Mhm.
us. And that's what I feel like I was telling one of the homies, you know, like we're, 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 we're on a whole different thing now where it's just like we're not just reclaiming rock and roll, we're showing you that we're doing this stuff now, and plus there's people that are associated with what we've been doing and it's an extension. This is still our culture no matter what. I don't care what anyone says, and we're going to do what we need to do.
Right,
So don't give up, man. And even if you're not going the punk direction, you do what the Most High has you do. It's all creativity, man.
right. Definitely, definitely. And I found that crowd yesterday, man. I found them yesterday. I said, yeah, this is the crowd I need to be around. You know.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap it up. But I want you before we do that, I want you to give your social media or anything that you're promoting, and then also give us a word of
Okay.
wisdom.
Well, my like I said, my Instagram handle. I got two Instagrams. My first Instagram handle is Mr. Stillman. Instagram. My second, where you can find me at, my second one is The Black Diamond. Then my Facebook is Eugene Stillman. And then my Twitter is ES Stillman 23. Twitter, that's just for fun. So if you want to follow me, catch me up on there, you can follow me on those platforms. And then um, my word of wisdom is pretty clear. Build a legacy that outlives you. that's into that. Build something that outlives, because the greatest tragedy in life is not just dying, but it's dying without fulfilling your purpose in life,
Mm.
fulfilling what you put here on earth to. A lot of people, they don't know their purpose, they don't know where they're going, they don't have an identity, and like I said, there's somebody you're probably the next president, you don't even know. You're probably the next doctor, you don't know. You're probably the next lawyer, whatever you have your mind set on, go for it. And you have to have a vision in life on where you're going. If you don't have a vision, you don't have an identity, you don't know why you're here, then you're just gonna be floating. You're just wasting air, wasting breath in your body. So my encourage to everybody and people that are watching this, and this, like I said, this life gonna go somewhere further and beyond. Build the legacy that outlives you. Build something that when you die, long and gone, it's gonna be that T-shirt. Whether it's T-shirt, money, a house, everyone. When you are living your life built on legacy and building something, that gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. That gives you a reason to get through depression. That gives you a reason to get through that disappointment. That reason to get you through that setback. So build a legacy that outlives you, and stay and stay purpose driven. Stay purpose driven, because you don't want to just be doing something and it ain't getting you nowhere. You want to stay focused, stay purpose driven, know your purpose, know your identity, know where you're going, know that your steps are ordered, right? So that's my encouragement, man, my word of wisdom.
Man, well, we thank you, man.
And
Thanks for being a guest. I really appreciate it, you guys. And
we
yeah, man,
definitely
check it out.
yeah, unapologetic. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
read
got,
it. Yeah,
got
uncommon faith, uncommon culture,
yeah,
unapologetic. So
I
yeah.
gotta I gotta send you like a long sleeve shirt. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah,
send
I'd rather be like, you see me all like,
yeah,
yeah, looking like an early '90s rap video
right. I gotta get some
with some bats.
hoodies too, man. I gotta get some hoodies too, man, for real. But
Man,
I
yeah, I mean, you gonna crack up at this. Speaking of that, the other girl, Safra, I interviewed her. Come to find out, both of us are like sporting the head coverings and the hats, and we're dying laughing, man. And
oh
then I got the
good.
hoodie on with the with the fula, and then the hat, got the lion in my skull, like that stuff is comedy, man.
Still still play, right? You still
Huh?
play little bit. You still in a band. I think the last time we talked, that was 2 years ago. Years ago, you were still in a band.
Yeah, I'm in my own band, but I host this improv. The guy Sam that you met, he's a part of that collective too.
Okay.
Sure. Aztec looking cat had kind of he's like a punk rocker, but he mixes it up between like his culture and like punk rock stuff. Yeah. If you saw him, you would know who he was because he was kicking it out
Oh,
there with us.
I know you're not talking about Zane, are you?
No, no, not Zane, not
Okay.
New God
Yeah.
Zane. Sam. I have to send you a picture of him. And then there's what's his name? My friend Matt, who I was with. He goes by Catacombs. We all got crazy nicknames.
What,
I got a bunch of them
what,
myself.
what was that name? Kind of who?
Catacombs.
That's like
He's
a
the other
really
brother that was with me. Like, yeah, Matt. And I hadn't seen him. I don't get out much, so I see it all these people, and then I see you. I'm like, man, this is a good night.
yeah, man. That was one of her first Fridays. She was like, "Hey, I think I asked her, could I vent?" She said, "Sure." So she's really nice. Tuesday's really nice
Yeah,
lady.
yeah, she's very nice,
Very.
man. I introduced her to my mom, man, and they had a cool
I, ain't-
conversation.
I ain't been over there in a long time. Matter of fact, I need to go stop by.
Yeah, I got to stop by myself, man. Like really cool people, you
But
know. Shouts to Tuesday, shouts to Sam Sticks Out, shouts to Dave and Jim Bats. Release the
yeah,
bats if you guys,
yeah,
you know.
we was there when he was there, right? Bats. We was there.
Yeah, David was there. No, both of them were there. David and Jim was there. They live around the area, so
Nice. That's
yeah.
nice. That's like what? Is that North Long Beach?
It's North Long Beach, but that particular area is Bixby Knolls. It's like the north part of Bixby Knolls. and I guess the greater part on the more east side of that is California Heights. So yeah, I'm near Compton. Like I have friends. I go to New Earth in Compton. That's where I like that health food store. I like a lot of stuff in Inglewood too.
Oh yeah,
Inglewood's like a
you
huh?
talking about that vendor? You told me not that vendor, about the what's it called? It's vegan food spot in Compton.
Yeah, new. Oh, there's the vegan restaurant. I hope that guy. I know one of the guys passed, but then there's the. Remember the vegan? They're like a health food store across from there. They've been around since the '70s, called New Earth.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
they got a few vegan things in Compton. There's this one vegan taco place over there too that sells Chinese
Oh
food. And
yeah.
I'm like, man.
Any Chinese food I touch is Panda.
You don't even go to the neighborhood Chinese place no
Yeah,
more.
I think Louisiana fried chicken. I'll try that though. You know,
Yeah.
hey. But man,
There's one good Louisiana spot that I go to, and I know like a few of the people that work there. It's over in the Carmelitos in Long Beach, man. Like, and their food is always fresh. If you see webs and stuff like on the, you know what I'm
well,
talking about.
you don't
Don't
eat
get
that
that crap.
sick.
Ugh. All discolored and stuff.
Yeah, you gonna be
the,
sick as a.
the grease got sediment on it.
Sometimes business be dropping the ball, man. They'll be checking the food sometimes, man.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you need to change that stuff, homie. Like,
You
I'm walking the hell out.
gonna mess around and get food poison.
For real. I messed around one time and man, I got sick and I'm like, I'm not at that spot, but another spot. And I'm like, I never went back since. I tried to be supportive because they were new. I'm like, nah, you make me sick once, that's a fool. I'm a fool if I were to try again. Speaking of Inglewood, you guys got like I would say all the black diaspora restaurants because there's a lot of, of course there's black Americans there, but there's a lot of the Caribbean and African stuff there too, like the Ethiopians and Nigerian. My favorite spot, aside from like Lee's Jamaican spot over there by the stadium, Veronica's Nigerian food is on point, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
I better stop talking about food. You gotta eat.
Man. But all right, it's been a pleasure, man. I enjoyed this conversation. I'm looking forward to doing this again in the future. And also, man, let's stay connected. I'll shoot you my number, and maybe we could talk about creating spaces for, black punks, people that are alternative. We need a space where we can go. We go. We got enough venues, right, where we go to. But what
Yeah.
about a place ours? That bring in anybody. We don't discriminate. Everybody, just a black space for people like me, you, and others. We need to talk about finally doing something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that would be real cool. And I know one cat that's been doing. I need to actually reconnect with him because I kind of lost contact. Kelvin Chaos, I guess,
Yeah,
does a lot of events.
yeah,
You know Kelvin?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Kelvin's
met him
about
I
that.
met him in 2022 at this Christmas toy drive.
Huh?
It was a bit.
Oh, Project 43. You were there?
I was there, dude.
You see him, babe?
Yeah, I was there, man.
And Alicia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there. I was there too.
Okay.
And I just interviewed Eli Arnold, man. Alien Lord. That's where I met him. Yeah, that was really cool.
Okay.
I love that Project 43, man.
That
That
was
was a
awesome.
really good.
I've never seen so many black people that was into what I was into. I was like blown away.
Yeah, we need to do another one like that. Yeah, that was really cool. Really cool.
The girl Cinnamon Bay she kind of put it together a little bit. Cinnamon Bay, that was kind of
Yeah,
like that kind of song. She's kind of like into heavy metal. She's a black girl.
yeah.
Cinnamon Bay. He put.
She's an actress too, a model actress.
Mm-hmm.
It's her. I know Kelvin had a lot to do with it, from what I understand, and all those guys did so great that day. It was a beautiful thing, man. Right in the middle of the hood.
Man, bless everybody. Vendors, people getting free haircuts. it was a blessing to be a part of that. And I donated a toy too. It was a blessing to be a part of that, man. Really, it was refreshing to see that.
That's real cool. Yeah, man, we got to talk about that,
So
man. Like that.
we're gonna get together and talk about some stuff, man.
Most,
Go out to eat one.
yeah, man.
All right, man. You be blessed, brother.
You
And it's
too,
good talking.
man. God bless you.
God
And
bless.
everybody, go and follow this brother and get a T-shirt or whatever he has.
Yeah, man.
Peace and blessings to you guys. Wait, say that again.
Come holler at me.
Yeah, go and holler at him, y'all.
All right. I'll catch
All
up.
right.
Have a good night.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Black history of rock and roll. Black history of rock and roll. Black history of rock and roll.
Right.
Peace and blessings. Besame abo wa Memphis Kadusa Hadom Lak. I mean, peace.
Peace.
Thank you guys.